It's great that you brought that up, because that was my next question. For those people who don't know what responsible innovation is, would you mind describing what it is?
Well, it's, yes, at least I can try. Let's say there are lots of nuances. It's not like it's a protected label. Eh? Anyone can add their own flavor. I would say there are some core elements though, and let's say the first one would be anticipation. So think ahead. There's no responsibility with your eyes closed, or only thinking about today and tomorrow and not about next week, or only think about your own square kilometer and not about the wider ramifications. So that doesn't come for free. You have to maybe to hire people, social scientists, economists, psychologists, who can help you explore that. So with this need for anticipation, you also broaden the team of experts. The experts can no longer be only technical experts. If you want to think about the societal ramifications, you need to work with different types of experts. So a typical responsible research and innovation setup is marked by interdisciplinarity. Because from different disciplinary angles, we can correct each other's blind spots. Now, anticipation needs interdisciplinary collaboration between experts, but it also needs another thing, and that's the input of laypersons, of the broader audience. So a second feature apart from, let's call it anticipation, is stakeholder involvement. Responsible research and innovation is always to some extent participatory. And the idea is that the people who have to live with the consequences of the technologies, they deserve some influence on the technologies themselves. And so they should be invited during the design and development process. And it's really mind-boggling to see how little this happened in the past. There was often very, very little user involvement. Simply within the laboratory, there's a small group and who decide this is good for everyone. Yeah? And they bring it out into the world. Often, of course, this was also incredibly bad business, because if the world wasn't ready for it or wasn't waiting for it or had other ideas, then of course your proposition would fail. So there are several good reasons, some more democratic, some more marketing-like, to talk and listen to the customers, but maybe also to the people who don't use your technology, who don't buy it, but who do have to live with the consequences. I don't have to own a car by being impacted by it. Yeah? Probably as a pedestrian, it's easier to be impacted by the car than when you're in it. Talk with the people who are using it, who will live with it, and listen to them, because they often have information that may be relevant for your design. So what you see in responsible research and innovation is all kinds of experiments with user involvement, or so-called living labs, or they have prototypes of the technology and they send it into the world. But then they also organize focus groups to learn from people how they use it, whether they use it, which buttons do they like, which do they not like, why. And so enter that conversation with the stakeholders. So stakeholder involvement or some form of stakeholder participation is a second feature apart from anticipation. And the third one I already mentioned, so I can be brief about it. Responsible research and innovation is not simply about avoiding bad technology. It is the attempt to create good technology. So technology that will help us do things that we consider worth doing. And this means that it's more blatantly ethical than simply hard avoidance. And this means that you also will enter, you have to enter more debates about what are good goals and what should we put on top of the agenda. So let's call that, let's say, maybe aspirational rather than harm avoidance. It's about we want to go somewhere rather than we want to avoid things. So then we have these three features, anticipation, together with interdisciplinarity, stakeholder participation, and aspirational. And I think that covers a lot of the main features.
It reminds me of the saying the director of our ethics center in Australia said once at a forum. He said, it's the difference between just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. You know, it's like the moral decision of doing things because it serves an actual good purpose that leads us towards a better future or better society. So thank you for that.
Let's say the question often used to be, are we allowed to do everything that we can? Yeah? This is still the negative one. It assumes that we first know how to do things and then we send it to the ethicist who says, in some cases, no, you can't. Yeah? You're not allowed. I think that's the negative approach. RI is the positive approach. What do we want to be able to do? Yeah? That's the driving question.